Hi there, and thank you for clicking on this video. I'm Dr. Aisha, and today I'd like to discuss how to interpret a Paper 2 question. For the Paper 2 exam, you'll be given 4 questions and expected to pick the one that best suits the themes and ideas of the 2 books that you'll be comparing and contrasting. The questions given will be broad, and most will actually work for a wide variety of literary texts. It just depends on how you choose to interpret the keywords in your chosen question. For instance, let's look at the following question. How and to what effect are strangers or strangeness represented in the 2 works you have studied? When receiving the exam paper, the first task you should undertake is to underline the keywords. For this question, the keywords are how and to what effect, and most importantly the main idea, which is strangers or strangeness. How indicates the use of the language features, character construction and development, along with the text type specific terminologies. These are things like stage directions, costume, lighting, music for drama, and stanzas, rhyme, meter and form for poems. So what effect is the means to which the writer chooses to present the characters in the way that they do? Why, for instance, does Ibsen choose to make Nora an obedient, subjugated wife at the beginning of the play A Doll's House, and an empowered one at the end? Why is Blanche in A Streetcar Named Desire an externally confident character at the beginning of the play, and a completely defeated one at the end? What do both writers perhaps want to show us about their individual social contexts? What were they feeling or trying to put forth about the issues they present? The most important is the idea-based keyword in the question. The connective or is used in this question, signifying that either stranger or strangeness should be selected. Let's say we pick the word stranger. Stranger in this case can mean a character who is unfamiliar to the setting they find themselves in. One such example of a case is Countess Ellen Olenska, who enters the life of Newland Archer in the novel The Age of Innocence by Edith Wharton as Archer's fiancé's cousin. Soon after, Archer is infatuated by the stranger and starts an affair and an impossible relationship with her. Stranger can also indicate a member of the family who is unrecognisable by another due to a change of morals or mindset. This can be seen in the case of Adela in The House of Bernarda Alba by Federica Garcia Lorca, who, fatigued by her mother's restrictions on her daughters in the name of protecting their chastity and family name, revolts by starting an affair with her older sister's fiancé, and ultimately takes her own life when she falsely learns that he has passed away. On the other hand, the word strangeness can also be interpreted in several ways too. Strangeness can be the depiction of someone who is incongruous to their setting. Most famously, this is Blanche in A Streetcar Named Desire, arriving at her sister's impoverished neighbourhood in Elysian Fields in New Orleans as an outwardly wealthy woman from Belle-Rive, a plantation in Louisiana. Before long, Blanche, disgusted by what she views as the uncivilized lifestyle of her sister, starts clashing with her brother-in-law Stanley on the grounds that he is savage-like in his behaviour and verbally vulgar. Essentially, this is a social class-related strangeness that causes conflicts with those in her immediate surroundings. We can also interpret the word as a gender-related strangeness, such as a woman who attempted empowerment in a patriarchal society, or a man who lacks the masculinity that the patriarchy summons. This can be Edna in Kate Chopin's 19th century novel The Awakening, who desires an artistic life free from domestic obligations, which eventually culminates in her realization that the community she resides in will not enable such a lifestyle, hence her taking her own life in the last page of the novel. Or Krogstad in A Doll's House, who is unable to fulfill the task attributed to a man. He's out of a job and reveals his sentimental feelings to his ex-lover Mrs. Lind, who he claims abandoned her and resulted in him losing his firm standing in life. Throughout the course of the play, Krogstad is viewed as an immoral individual who contaminates the community he resides in. As can be seen, the words can be interpreted in a myriad of different ways, and what is most vital and possibly the most essential component of the Paper 2 exam is to define the keyword in the first few sentences of your introduction, providing a general statement about how you've chosen to engage with the word, introducing any social concepts or ideas and themes that the word will enable you to explore. An example of a general statement for the word strangeness might be: strangeness is a concept in literature that writers rely on in order to add tension to their works, but also to make commentary on social issues. One such social issue explored through this word is how female empowerment, a strangeness in patriarchal societies, can lead to the ultimate punishment of the female both physically and spiritually. On the other hand, it can also show how such empowerment can result in a deep sense of mental anguish in the men whose wives choose psychological resilience as they lose their reputation in their communities as individuals incapable of controlling their spouses. When writing this general statement, I had in mind Blanche in A Streetcar Named Desire, who experiences bouts of delusion as she feels that her past actions, which betray the social structure of patriarchy, will be exposed, while at the end of the play she is also physically sent off to a mental institution as an individual unfit to live amongst her community. I also had in mind Helmer from A Doll's House, whose actions in the last scene, his cupping his face in his hands and his sinking to the floor whilst he calls out to Nora, who is on the verge of abandoning the marital home in desperation, shows the complete mental downfall of a man once their wife is empowered. And there you have it. If you have any further questions, please feel free to send us an email at cana@canaelite.com. Thank you for listening and happy learning.